headlight duct is on the car. It was actually a big pain in the ass, but it's there. Already on my next project, kind of erased the pain of that, but I guess I should show the headlight duct. So here it is. From the front, it looks really, really cool, but when you get up on it, it's actually starting to push itself out. So there's a nasty gap here that's pushing out, and that's where I think it's going to leak. It's been on there for a day, or I guess 2 days, and there has not been any condensation inside. So hopefully I don't get any condensation, but I probably should have used Sikaflex instead of using the dang butyl rubber, because I'd have probably held it flat. But I'm on to the next project, doing the triple gauge pod. So the car already had oil temp and oil pressure gauge on it, so the sensors are still in there. So I'm using those sensors because I'm being too lazy to take that out and put the new sensors in. I'll do that when I take the engine out. But unfortunately, I'm doing a dual temp intercooler, so I have an intake temp and an outtake temp from the intercooler. But unfortunately, those lines are way too short, so I've got to extend those to go back in the car. So that's what I'm working on right now, extending these lines to get in the car. It would be nice if they had made it long enough to get into a car, but hey, here we are. All right, so the wires are all tucked in on the engine bay. I got the car up in the air, got the wheel off, got the splash guard up to tuck the wires inside of the fender, and now they're actually tucked in also past the firewall in the car. So all the wires under the dash are in there. I've zip tied them all down, as you see those zip ties sitting. Now I've got to remove the climate controls and the vent and the hazard light to see what's under here. So the good thing is that this will get rid of this boogered up part right here on my dash that's been there the whole time I've had it. But I was gonna go to counter steer to see another GTT and exactly how this is installed. But I think I'm gonna get froggy and do it myself because I can see where the rear two mounts go. So what I'm gonna do is slowly cut out those two rear mounts and then set the triple gauge pod in and see where else I gotta cut. So I'm hopeful that when I remove this, I'll see some of the other parts that need to be cut under here, because if I don't take this slow and I mess this up, I've got to kind of either replace my dash or get this reupholstered, which I don't want to do. So we'll take it slow and get it right, hopefully.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Well, I regret to inform the world that there's something hard back there. So I tried to cut this out, and there's something really hard back there. I thought it would just cut, and this would be simple, and everything would work. But now I've got a hole in my dash, but I'm going forward. I don't care. I want to make this work one way or another. But I've got to figure out what's hard back there. And like an idiot, I didn't even pull any of this off. I just went straight to cutting. So yeah, look at that. Look at what this guy did. Oh, it looks so pretty. That big old hole in the dash. Yeah. So I got to fix that. So well, not fix it. I got to fix this whole situation. So I'm going to do the right thing and pull all this out and actually see what's back there, because I might be cutting something I'm not supposed to. I'm a fucking idiot. Funny how fast you remove stuff when you're in a panic because you got a hole in your dash you don't know if you can fix. So I already knew this. This is actually how the GTT looks. It's got the notches to set up the triple gauge pod, so these actually fit. So I knew this was okay. Something got to give. But this hole in the back, the fact that something hard is there is kind of scaring me. But I don't know if I'll be able to see this in the video. I can see it with my light. But there's a notch back there. Do you see that little gap there? If I could actually look in here, I'm trying to get y'all to see it. Anyways, there's a notch back there that I know is being used to get these, the MFD and the triple gauge pod to set. So this definitely fits in there. There's another notch on this side. So I see where the triple gauge pod is supposed to go and settle in at, but I don't know why this doesn't have anything soft. But the sad thing is I can't get further back because this duct is in the way. So I don't know how to remove said duct. I mean, there's some screws here that I could get froggy and try to remove, but I don't know if I really want to do that because I don't know what all those screws go to and what's going to happen when I remove it. But I'm going to do some more looking around in here, but a little bit less panic because I can see it's supposed to fit somehow. I've just got to do some more digging and figure this out. Sadly, there was no YouTube videos for this, so hopefully this will help somebody else out in the future, maybe. Okay, so more progress, but it looks horrible. I still don't really know if I'm gonna get this done. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna fit here. Like this looks like what it's supposed to look like. I'm pretty sure this is probably the same shell for GTT, all the Skylines. It's just different foam and everything else above it. So what I'm going to do now is start shaving this back further and just see what's under here and just keep shaving it back. I'm not going to go over to the sides at all, and I'm not going to go any further than this, but with it right here, it actually sits pretty flush here. It's just being blocked by stuff back here. So yeah, let me continue cutting inside of my Skyline that I love, and hopefully I can figure this out. I probably should have not done this. And as I continue to tear this apart, I thought this was holes. I got excited, but there's no holes here. So yeah. This isn't looking too good. I'm gonna figure this out. This is gonna fit in here and I'm gonna make it look factory fresh one way or another. I don't even need these gauges. The freaking Haltech does everything. Hi everybody. The stupid guy over here.
What?
And everybody was telling me the car came with pillar gauges. So everybody was telling me, you know, you can just do a nice pillar gauge install, but I didn't want that. I didn't need the gauges because I already have them here, but I wanted gauges here, and I'm doing extracurricular shit that I did not need to do, and I probably destroyed my dash. So everybody, look at this dash that, you know, I've kind of ruined. Oh Lord, we're gonna see what happens. I'm continuing on though. I'm gonna rip all this out to the length of what this triple gauge pot fits. So, you know, right now, if I got the triple gauge pot in there, it hides everything though. So we'll keep ripping shit out and see what happens. All right, so it's bad. I really don't see how this is gonna work, but we're gonna figure some stuff out. I see that this has to go in further for the gauge pot to sit in right. So you can see there's a gap there where the, yeah, there you can see it better now. There's still more room that I gotta cut out, but I don't wanna cut everything out because then there'll be a gap between the gauge pot and there to just see all this boogered up stuff. So what I'm gonna try to do is remove the foam from below this, whatever this fake leather is. That way the fake leather will drop in and there will be a gap filled by this fake leather. And that way it actually will look half decent. So we'll see if I can do that. That's my plan right now, but I still don't really know if this is gonna work. Still don't see any holes. Things aren't really, other than this front place, I don't see how this is gonna work, but yeah, I'm gonna make this work. I really should not have did this at all.
Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
Oh, for the love of God, I'm glad. So I panicked, went online, took some screenshots to some people. A lot of people put the MFD inside of GTTs. So I don't have the GTT gauge pod, so I'm just trying to put anything in this spot. But I saw that these stickers are in the same places as the gaps are in there. So I started removing this, and look what I found. Da-na-na-na. Any nerd will know where that's from. Zelda, if you don't know that, you're not a nerd. But the tabs are actually in there. So all I gotta do is remove these little stickers and the tabs are there. So I'm actually not too far from being able to install this. The panic is gone. I am feeling a little better about this install now. Oh, you don't understand how scared I was. But now I've got to worry about how clean I can make this look, which I think it won't be noticeable because I got smart and kept this little extra at the end. So I think this won't look bad. It's not gonna sit as pretty as a natural install, but it's gonna be okay. More positive traction. I'm actually feeling much better about this. We've got the holes back there I need to go through. And then these holes here. Right now I'm gonna have to shave out the sides a little bit more. I've shaved out this one pretty well. So I think this side's sitting okay, but I gotta shave this side out more. So let it sit on that side, but I'm gonna take it slow with that and try to see where it's resting on, where it's not resting on, and try to continue installing this triple gauge pod. It's actually should be in today. That's a surprise. All right, we've got some success. It's in there. The thing that's weird is that notch right there. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm trying to get the light on it and the camera in there at the same time, but yeah, that notch there, I thought would be in the hole right there, but it's nowhere near it. Even if I push it down, it's not going anywhere near that hole. So I guess those weren't for the holes, but this in the back is notched in. You see a little bit of light back there, but nobody's gonna see back there, so that doesn't really matter. And then the one thing that sucks is my very first cut. So let's see if we can see this through the glass. Probably not with this light on. Put some more light on it. That very first cut is right there. So it's actually a cut through where you'll actually see that behind here. Nobody's gonna notice that. Maybe I'll get an upholstery person to help me out and just glue some extra, some extra material back there to hide that. But overall, this is in there. I'm gonna continue with the install, but I think I've actually been successful. Yay. Since I know the gauge pod works, I did all the wiring to get everything in here, and it all works. So took a little bit to figure this out. I was freaking out for a little bit because the oil temp was doing nothing. It was stuck at 100, but that's because 100 is the slowest temperature. So once it hit above 100, it was actually okay. Got some temperatures from the in and out of the dual temp, and then oil pressure. Go ahead, let it boot up again. And we've got oil pressure. And if I throttle it, oil pressure goes up. So, yay, we got working everything. I've got a of course, put all this shit together tomorrow, but we've got a triple gauge pot that's gonna get installed tomorrow. Success. I'm happy with this. Yay. I already explained that these gauges, which are the perfect size for this, actually fell out of this. So I had to think of something else. Since I didn't have a GTT gauge pod, I bought this online, but was having problems finding this. It sucks because now I found 2 people in town that have GTTs, and I could have bought the whole setup from them. I bought that brand new, and I had to find this in Canada. But how I installed this is I use this VLH 3M double-sided tape. I use it for hanging emblems, but I just got the double-sided tape. You can see it. Let's see if I can set this down. You can see it is up here. So I have that double-sided tape up there. Then I also have it at the bottom. You see it down there. So that's what's holding it in. And I figured that should be good enough to hold it in there. If anything else fails, I can figure something out better to hold this in there at another date. But that's what I'm doing for now. And I'm gonna go ahead and install this. What I ended up getting is an oil temp gauge, an oil pressure gauge, and a double temp gauge for the air inlet and the outlet from the intercooler. So all of that's going to be installed in the car right now. So I'm kind of excited to get this install complete because shit's been sitting on this counter over here forever. So most of this will be off my counter finally. Yay. All right, so to get this to fit, I mean, all the GTT and GTR, this whole thing is cut out. But to get this to fit, you got to cut this out because the bottom of this right here hits that. So got to cut that out. So I cut that out with my trusty Dremel. I got chunks of black stuff all over me, chunks of black stuff all in the car. So needless to say, I'm going to have to detail my interior after this, but I'm almost done. Finally, this install, as all installs, is longer than I thought it was going to be, but we're almost there. Yay. So everything's installed. It actually looks really good. The gaps aren't bad. And actually that gap I had in the back that I was worried I was going to have to cover actually got covered because I pushed this back some more and actually covered it. So I got lucky there. There are some nut clips that go right here. I thought they were just regular like fender nut clips or whatever you want to call those little things, but it's not. It's something special. So I had to order that from Nissan. So good old wax string. Used to use this all the time in the military to hold this down for a couple days, but that'll be fine. But here's the final product. So it makes all types of nice little noises and goes through its little startup. And I've got oil pressure, I've got temp in and out, and then oil pressure moves with throttle. So I'm happy. Everything's installed really well. So yeah, I've still got to tighten a whole lot of things down. Got freaking shit I got to clean all over the car. Got wires under here that I got to clean up. But the car is together, you know, it looks good. I'm happy so far. We'll get this all cleaned up tomorrow. Quick video of the final product. Everything's in here, nicely installed. Problem is, my out is my in and my in is my out. My out temperature should not be higher than my in temperature. I'm pretty sure I didn't swap those. I followed the instructions pretty damn well, but it's an easy thing to fix. I just swapped those in the back. My oil pressure is lower than I would like it to be at full operating temp. I like it to be in the 20s, but I have to look up what an RB should be at full operating. And then oil temps have been running at 190, which I'm not against, you know, but just did a full run just to see where I'm at, and everything looks pretty good. I'm happy with the install. I should do this video during the day where everybody can see everything, but you know, it's nighttime and I'm here. I just finished it all up, but everything's in. Next will be this. On to the next one.